I kept thinking like, I can't afford this bag right now. How am I ever going to afford this bag? And it wasn't even about that I loved the bag so much that I wanted it. It was about how can I make myself successful enough so that I can earn that bag.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Sheroic podcast. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Cassey.
And today we're talking about fashion.
Fashion!
Yeah, we cannot go, and I know we keep almost saying this about every episode. We couldn't go one more episode without talking about the subject, but there's so many cool things we want to talk about. So today we're going to talk about fashion.
Actually, I'm going to bring it back to our photo shoot.
Yes,
because I think that was like a fashion enlightenment moment for you, was it not?
It really was on multiple levels.
Okay, so first of all, we're talking about the Sheroic photo shoot that we did a couple months ago.
Yes.
And what happened was my graphic designer and photographer and I came up with this kind of a storyboard of what the shoot was going to look like, and we wanted it to be very powerful and colorful, lots of primary colors and action hero Wonder Woman. So we're talking reds and blues and yellows. And the problem kind of was I knew Lisa only likes to wear black. And so I knew I had a lot of convincing to do. But that day you really brought your game and you allowed yourself to try on new clothes, which is a big deal for you.
Yeah, it was. So you're amazing at being obviously I've seen so many of your photographs and your videos, and you always look super cute in all these outfits. And so when you're saying doing a photo shoot, we'll bring our own clothes. Like you were like, Lisa, have you gone shopping yet? And you were very sweet and like texting me like, hint, like you need to remember to bring your clothes.
Oh, yeah. And I would send you links to dresses that I think you would look good in.
Yeah, you did.
I
You sent me this email.
But I noticed that you never really responded to those. So I was like, I was kind of worried. I was like, I better be prepared on photo shoot day. I'm going to bring some stuff for her.
Thank God you did. So you sent me like links of like, there was clothes that I've seen you wear. And I think, oh my God, she looks amazing. It's not like I look at them and go, I hate them. I look and go, wow, she looks great. But then you sent me links of like rompers. And I'm like, oh God, I'm not a romper person.
How can you not be a romper person? Have you worn a romper?
Well, so I bought one of the rompers that you sent me.
Right.
And then it looked like I was playing dress up with my mum's clothes.
Because it wasn't petite enough, I think.
It wasn't petite enough.
But it fit me, so I just took it from her.
That's true, you did. And it looked amazing on you.
You know what? I think if I found you the right size romper, you would feel the freedom in it.
Yeah, maybe that's
because you really like showing off your legs.
I do.
So rompers allow you to go really short with the shorts while still staying like covered up on top, but you just look so put together.
Yeah.
It's just like a dress with shorts on.
You looked phenomenal for sure. And that's like that one little barrier in my mind, right? Like, okay, she looks great in them. I need to be open to it, so I'll buy it. And then I tried it on. I was like, I just can't wear this. I look ridiculous.
But I think it's just not the right fit. That's
maybe
all. It's just not the right fit.
Maybe that's it. But then I came to the photo shoot, and you had like, God, I love you so much. You had like your rack all laid out. You had all your things hanging in color coordinated order. And I literally bring like a suitcase with my crumpled up black clothes.
But it was cute because Lisa brought this huge luggage, the types that you bring on an international flight, filled with black shoes, shirts, pants, and bras.
Oh my God. It was so funny because literally I opened up because I knew like, okay, Cassey think this is the right thing. Oh, I don't know. Okay, maybe I'll throw it in there anyway. So literally in the end, I ended up like throwing all my clothes in this one suitcase. I open it up and I guess I didn't really realize that all my clothes are different shades of black.
And it's possible to have different shades of black. Yeah.
So I open it up and I'm literally pulling out black top after black top. And yeah, you've got this like beautiful thing and you pull things off and you're like, Lisa, I think you'd look good in this and I think you'd look good in this. And these are all clothes that I would never have in my life ever picked out off a shelf. I would never picked out in a catalogue, like anything. And you were so, and this is important to know, you were so sweet about it. You weren't pushy, but you were definitely opinionated. If that makes sense, right? You weren't like, Lisa, you have to try this on. You were like, this, I think, will look great on you. Just give it a shot. Try it on, look in the mirror, and if you don't like it, don't wear it.
So I already knew that when we sent you the creative, that I was going to have some trouble with getting you to wear color. I already knew that.
Yeah.
So that's why I massaged it into you over the prior 3 to 4 weeks.
Right.
But I also knew that because you weren't emailing me back on these certain dresses that you didn't like it. And so I wasn't actually surprised when you came in saying you hadn't gone shopping yet and you brought in a bunch of black clothes. I thought it was a good challenge for me, but I was also like, I'm glad I brought some extra stuff. And I'm so grateful that you were willing to try on like the yellow jacket and these other colors, because my whole thing was like, I want Lisa to look like Lisa. I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I don't want to turn you into some character that you're not, but I also want you to push your boundaries. And so I'm also grateful that you were willing to say, okay, let me try. And if you were like, I hate this, then you didn't have to wear it, but at least you tried, and you kind of liked it for the photo.
Well, you loved it.
Okay,
God,
great.
I loved
it.
Like, even as you said, I like to show my legs. So you pull out this pencil skirt,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like the worst person to wear pencil skirt. I love showing off my legs. Like, I don't want to hide them.
Yeah.
But again, I was like, you know what? The worst that can happen is I put it on and I laugh at myself. I just take it back off again. Like, I'm not going to be forced into taking a photograph if I don't like it. But try it on. And it was one of those, I know Oprah uses as aha moments. And this is why we really wanted to talk about it, because clothes, I think to everybody, is a form of identity, right? It's about like, how does it make you feel? Does it empower you? Does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel sexy? You know, when you're not feeling really good, let's say it's the time of the month, you want to wear sweats. Like, it's such an expression of how you're feeling. And so when I see all these other clothes where I was like, well, that, you know, pencil skirt, that's not sexy. I had all these preconceived notions of what certain outfits would make me feel like. But when I put those on, you know, and we'd had our hair done, and we had our makeup done, I felt so empowered and I loved it. And it was one of these, like, we've got to talk about it, because I don't think people put enough time, energy in and thought into what it's going to make them feel like. Right? It doesn't matter what physique you have. It doesn't matter if you're heavy set or if you're muscly or if you're skinny or if you're curved. Like, it doesn't matter. But paying attention to what you wear, how it's going to make you feel. Like, if you're in a bad mood and you put on sweats, it's not going to pick you up.
Your clothing can completely change the way you feel about yourself. Like, I know that when I'm going to go get interviewed by like a magazine or whatever, I put on my best face, my best hair. I wear my heels so that I feel powerful. And there's something about high heels too that just make you feel in charge. And I think that's why our logo is like everything that I want Sheroic to look like, to feel like. It's a heel with a cape. Like, that's how I want to feel every day when I'm doing anything.
So when you go to interviews, even if you're not going to be on camera, you'll dress a certain way?
Yeah. When I go on to interviews, or even if there's a big day at work and I need to be talking in front of other high-level people, then you just need to kind of dress the part, because it makes you feel like a different person. And I like that fashion can do that without having to alter your body or be invasive or anything. It's just the makeup that you wear, the way you do your hair, and the clothes that you wear. It can really change the way you feel. And so when it goes to, for example, designing activewear, just like when I was in high school, we had to wear boys' Adidas shorts for our uniform with like a regular old t-shirt top from like Gildan or something like that. And the girls would try to make it look sexy by like rolling the top down to make it shorter, but still it was so baggy and disgusting. And now the whole activewear industry has completely changed. And I'm in the activewear industry now. But when I wear really cute booty shorts with a tank top that has a cool design in the back, like, I feel good about myself. And when I'm doing, for example, bicep curls, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, hey, I look good doing those bicep curls. Like, there's just something about feeling good and looking good that is just so interconnected. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah.
Like when you work out too?
100%. Well, actually, let me think about that. When I work out, no. I work out at home, and so no one sees me except my husband.
Yeah.
So I wear like really old sweats. I've got the same sneakers that I've worn for like 4 years.
Yeah.
I wear like the most scraggliest tank top that I can find.
Yeah.
But I just came back from vacation.
Yeah.
And it was the first time in a long time I'd been in a public gym. And I actually was like, oh, I've got to put on some like cuter pants. Like, I got to like, because I I didn't want to feel like I just rolled out of bed, because
Yeah.
when I was at the gym, I wanted to feel empowered. So I thought, okay, what am I going to wear to feel empowered? But it's interesting that I don't think about it when I'm by myself.
I think that's true. When I work out at home, I don't put on my best stuff because I don't really care. So I guess you kind of
You're doing
you do
it.
you do it kind of for yourself, but also for how other people perceive you too.
I never thought about that, actually.
Yeah, I never thought. I always say, yeah, I like to dress cute, but when I'm at home, I just kind of wear just regular old stuff. Very interesting. So I guess you do. I mean, 100% true. You do it because of how other people will perceive you. That is why I dress up when I have to talk to other high level people, because I want them to view me a certain way. So,
And
yeah.
do you then do it like the difference between like the Blogilates Cassey and then the entrepreneur Cassey?
Yeah. So that's really important to talk about. So the Blogilates Cassey is the fitness Cassey. And so lots of colors, bright Nike shoes, booty shorts, and a tank top. Like that's like when I wear that out in public, like people can spot me. They will see
That's
me.
so
But
awesome.
the entrepreneur Cassey, and I love posting my fashion photos. Like I love these like Australian rompers from Cameo or Finders Keepers, like some of my favorite brands. I love wearing that kind of stuff. And I love showing off my legs. I love it ending it with like a nude heel or something to elongate my legs. My nails are always painted in a different color because that makes me feel put together. But yeah, Entrepreneur Cassey like is a very girly, feminine, like power girl Cassey. Like that's how I look. Do you have different looks for different times?
I do 100%. And at one point I felt like, oh, I have to like kind of pick like which one do I really like? And then afterwards I was like, no, it really does depend on my mood.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I want to be super sexy because I'm going on a hot date, right? I think people can relate to that.
Yeah.
Other times, if I'm in a business meeting, I'll go, who's in that business meeting? Is it people I know? Or is it people I don't know? Are they going to be mostly men? Are they also going to be women? And the reason why I do that is because I have a motive when I'm going into a meeting, whether it's business or anything. Like, what is that outcome? Like, if I'm going into a meeting and I want to try and make a deal with somebody, or I want them to understand who I truly am, I'm going to be expressive in the clothes that I wear. I'm going to wear something that is identifying who I am. And I really kind of allowed myself to embrace that when I started seeing, like, my husband used to go to bank meetings, like when we were kind of starting Quest, like he would actually go into big business bank meetings and he would wear bright yellow shoes. And I grew up with a dad who always wore suits to work, always, like tie, jacket, that was it. And I was like, babe, you can't wear bright yellow shoes to like the bank. Like you're going in, you're talking about money, like millions of dollars. And he's like, no, this is precisely why I need to wear them. And I was like, why? He goes, because I need them to know who I am. And that really hit me, because if you're going into business with me, I'm not going to pretend to be somebody I'm not.
Yeah.
So I may dress in a, professional way. I may dress a little like tight pants or something because I'm feeling sexy. It's giving me a little of empowerment. But that little hint of who you really are, I think, is also important, because if you're going to go into business, you need to know I'm not your traditional business person.
Yeah.
I'm going to think outside the box. I'm going to do things that may be a little weird or different. That's who I am. And I was so empowered by that notion that I kind of think about that now all the time. So yeah, there are certain times where I want to be cute. I want to be like sporty.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to play a little game.
Yeah.
I want you to describe what you think of is my style, and then I'm going to try to do that to you. At first I was going to say, hey, explain your style, but wouldn't it be fun to see how you're perceived?
Your style.
Okay, so tell me what you think my style is.
It's like a whole look?
Just, I don't know. I'm not even sure what this question
You're always
means.
very well put together.
Okay.
Always well put together. Even when you don't have makeup on and we know no one's going to see us, like you always look like you're comfy, but you're not. I've never seen you look like a bum.
Yep, I don't look like a bum.
Yeah.
I try not to do that.
I can't imagine you in like super old pants and like with holes in them and
That's
stuff.
at home.
Really?
At home? They don't have holes, but I'll wear like regular stuff. I'll like stay in my pajamas like on a Saturday or something like that. Some shorts and a t-shirt or something like that with no makeup.
But you always like cute clothes. And the one thing actually that I found so interesting about you, and someone actually asked this on one of our social pages on Facebook on the Sheroic channel. They were like, oh my God, Cassey, I love that bag. Or it was like, I love your shoes. Like, where do you get them from? In the photo shoot that we did, I remember like going, oh wow, this is really cute. And you're like, oh yeah, I bought that for like $20 in so and so. Like you know exactly how to make the most out of money when it comes to fashion, picking the right things, the right combinations that on a rack I would never put together in a million years. And you'll be able to put together this beautiful outfit for like $100. And you'd be like, oh yeah, the top was $20, the pants were $30, the earrings were, $5. And you'll just like be able to put like this stunning outfit. I mean, literally, guys, look at those photos that we did. Like,
you should really look at the photos that they did. And our photographer, Victoria, took them. She did an amazing job on that.
Honestly, your team's freaking amazing.
Oh,
like
thank you.
amazing.
And I'm sure she's listening right now. And she's
you rock, girl. But it matters who you work with, right? It matters that you've got a team that also believe in your vision. And you putting that together with the combination of the clothes. I was like, the outfit you put me in, right? Like the top, the pencil skirt, the shoes.
So we'll
you even
explain
got me the matching blue watch. You even got that.
That's right. Okay, so let me explain. For those who haven't seen the photo, Lisa likes to show her arms and she likes to show her legs. So I decided to cover both of them. So I envisioned Lisa as like this classy, like somewhere between like a 50s, 60s look or something like that. Because you had your hair almost like rockabilly style.
Yeah.
It was like very high with I think it's called like a bouffant or something like that. So I loved your
and that was
face.
going to like my identity. I wanted to feel tough. And I said, give me a rock style hair.
I love that. So that was amazing. And so when it came to the clothing, I had this pencil skirt that was actually from Forever 21. It was probably like $18 something and 3 years old. And I wanted to put Lisa in that. Lisa has amazing abs. So I wanted to show off her abs too. But she never shows her abs, which I don't know why.
I show them like in the gym setting.
Yeah, but like in fashion, crop tops are so in. You should wear them more. And then I put her in a white crop top that was like 4 years old, one of mine, with a little cap sleeve and a high neck.
Hiding the shoulders.
Hiding the boob cleavage. And it was just showing off different places of her body. So I could see she was super hesitant in wearing it, but I was like, Lisa, just try. And he's like, I also want you to wear this yellow leather jacket. And I knew that
blue shoes.
And blue shoes. And she was like, okay. And so she ended up putting it on, looking amazing. But Lisa was like, can I not wear the yellow leather jacket? So I was like, okay, well, can you just hold the yellow leather jacket? And she did. And it made it look really amazing. So that's what the outfit looked like.
And that outfit, like, right, less than $100?
Oh, yeah. I think even the jacket was, like, on sale. I had just bought it for, like, $40 or something like that. And faux leather, vegan leather.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, like, as a kid, I really enjoyed bargain shopping because my parents taught us how to be very frugal with our money. We had to work hard for it. And so when you spent it, you had to be very careful with it. And so I grew up like shopping at Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, like all those kind of stores, always looking in the clearance rack before I look anywhere else. And so for me, it became kind of a treasure hunt. And I enjoyed being able to see what I could find and what I could put together. And I think that's kind of the reason why I also really enjoy interior designing because again, with furniture, for me, I don't have time to go to furniture stores. So I go on websites like Joss & Main, Wayfair, worldmarket.com. And I look at different pieces and I envision them in my head and then I buy them. And I hope that when they come here that they look good together. So for me, combinations, colors, and textures, I just envision them in my head and see how they'll look. You know?
So what advice would you give? Because I read it a lot where people like... oh, I really want to dress nicely because, I think women understand that the way you dress can make you feel really good. And especially women if they've just lost weight or you've just had a baby and you're feeling, like you're back in the gym or, you want to feel good about yourself. And, but a lot of people get stuck on, but I can't afford it.
You can't afford it. Yeah.
So what advice would you give? Obviously, like that example where like the outfit that I'm wearing, it literally was put together in less than $100.
Yeah.
But if someone doesn't have that vision like you do, can you give them advice on what they should start doing to be able to put something together for cheap that would look good together?
I think there's a lot of fashion bloggers out these days. There's high-end ones, there's medium-end ones, and then there's like, bargain ones. I think find one that fits your budget and your style and follow them. The one that I'm thinking about, I can't remember her name. It's called like, I don't want to butcher it, but I think it's like Jay's Everyday Fashion or something like that. But she only shops like bargain and her clothes, she looks good and put together. And so I think if you have an idea of what looks good, and if you pick a fashion blogger that kind of has your same body type too, then you'll know how to dress for your body.
That's interesting, but you said like know your fashion, know your style. But clearly I didn't know my style.
Well, I think you do know your style.
But I mean, I know what I like, but I never would have chosen that outfit. But that outfit was very empowering for me.
Do you think you would ever wear that outfit again? Or was it more like a...
Oh, that's a good question.
I asked that because there's the everyday style and then there's the photo shoot style. And your character when you're in a photo shoot.
That's interesting.
So...
Yeah, you're right.
So that's why
you wouldn't wear that outfit.
Exactly. That's why I think you do know your style. But maybe you don't know what could look good on you. I think that's the difference.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Rent the Runway?
I have, yeah.
They've actually even got a store now in Vegas.
They do?
Yeah, and I'm
That's
sure
cool.
it's because like people who like in Vegas, you kind of go out like last minute, like oh my god, there's a beautiful event going on and I need a dress. But that's actually a really interesting way of not committing a lot of money to something in case you don't know if something is your style. Like if you're just like you want to experiment, you want to like step out of your comfort zone, like I actually think it's a really good way to feel alive.
I think so too. I think it's a great idea. I actually just wish they would have more exciting fashions. Hopefully,
At Rent the Runway,
Rent the Runway.
yeah.
I mean, I've been on the website and sometimes I'm looking for something so specific, but I can't find it. But I think it's an amazing concept. I just wish there were a little bit more crazy stuff. Yeah.
So when you're doing your fashion line, it's obviously very activewear. What are the things, are there certain things that you consider when you're designing it? It must be this, this, and this?
Well, first, I always have to think about the fit. That's the most important thing, because when you put on a shirt or a pair of pants that they just don't fit right, it doesn't even matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what color it is. So, for example, we've been working a lot on how does it fit the boobs right, because that's so important. I did not, before I got into fashion designing, activewear and sports bras in particular, I didn't know how many bra sizes there were. There were so many bra sizes, and just because a woman looks like she's a size 2 or size 4, but she has like size G boobs, like she can't really wear a normal size 4. So, you know, we're thinking about the physicality of everything. And so I think about fit. I think about how high the neckline needs to be so that if you're doing, for example, cardio, your boobs aren't going to fall out of it. But if it's a yoga bra, I'm allowed to go down and show a little bit more cleavage in the design and stuff. So there's a lot of thinking that goes behind the design. But in terms of like just starting the sketch, I just veer towards what I think looks cute. And that's usually inspired by what I see on runways or in stores, on Pinterest, and, you know, what people on the streets are wearing. And sometimes I'll be walking down the street with Sam, for example, and then he'll turn around and be like, where did I go? Sometimes I will follow someone and I'll be like, hey, can I take a picture of your backpack? Like, that's really cute. I did this at the airport the other day. And then 2 days ago, I was at 24 Hour Fitness, and I said, I like someone's yoga mat. So I was like, oh, excuse me, what brand is that? Can I look at that? And she goes, are you Cassey Ho? And I'm like, oh, yes, I am. And then we had a whole conversation, and she was like, oh, yes, you want to see my yoga mat? Here, like, you can take my yoga mat. But
awesome.
when something catches my eye, I have to look at it.
So you're inspired by things around you.
Yeah. I really am.
That's actually interesting. And looking at other people, maybe like even that have the same body type as you, and seeing what like looks good on them. Because I think that's always a difficult thing as well. Like you may look at outfits. Like I really admire those women that can get away with those really high waisted pants or shorts.
And that's super in right now.
It is super in. But what do you do, in fact, when something's super in, but you don't have the body type for it? Because I can't get away with those because I don't have hips. And I think that those look beautiful on women that have like amazing hips.
You know what's interesting? I agree. They do look beautiful and amazing, beautiful on people with bigger hips. But people always tend to think that those women have smaller waists, but it's not actually the case. It's just that their hips are much bigger than their waist, so it makes them look smaller. Anyway, that's a whole different conversation. But, I mean, if you want to wear it, then just wear it.
But what if it doesn't look good?
Well, if you don't think it looks good, then don't wear it.
But I want to be in fashion.
Well, then wear it. I don't know. Stop making excuses. Or get hip pads. I don't know. No, I think just wear it.
That was awesome. All right, so I want to start talking about judgment in clothes.
Okay.
Because we've spoken a lot about this as well, right? Where it's there's so much people judging you or judging other people or judging runway models or judging the clothes that they show in couture. Like there's so much of that. What is your overall, in fact, let's back up.
Okay.
Let's talk about the shoe situation that happened on the day of our photo shoot.
Yeah.
So I brought in these knee-high Louboutin heels that I've got. I have always wanted Louboutin shoes. Like I've just seen them everywhere. Like I absolutely fell into that category of like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. You know, like women have them. I really want them. And like, I don't think there's anything bad with that.
And let's explain the Louboutin shoe
Yeah.
real quick. It's the shoe, it's a heel actually that has a red sole.
Right.
And it's very iconic. And what would you say like the price tag of one of these would be?
You're looking at like, God, $1,000
For a pair of shoes.
Yeah, for a pair of shoes.
Okay.
So they're not cheap at all. And look, I think that's definitely part of why people covet them, right? Is that it's hard to get. It's expensive. You know, I think that that does make a difference. And, you know, kind of like denying that, I think is, you know, it doesn't help you. So I think the reality is because they're expensive, people covet them. It definitely was the reason why I coveted them because I couldn't afford them, right? It was like one day, you know, like I just aspire to like, what are the things that if I just had money, I would buy because I really want them. And Louboutins was one of them.
Yeah.
And work really hard, go on vacation. I see these knee-high boots and I saw the price tag. I was like, even though I can buy them now. I was like, that's ridiculous. I can't spend that much money on these boots. And my husband turned around to me and he's like, I'm going to get them for you. And I was like, no, babe, like, I just can't justify paying that much money for boots. And he's like, look, you've wanted them for so long, for like so many years. All you've been talking about is buying Louboutin shoes. And now you're not going to buy them. Like, that's crazy. Like, I want to get them for you. It's special. You've busted your ass. We work very hard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get them. So we got them. I didn't wear them for like 6 months.
Because were they like a trophy? You didn't want to like touch
yeah,
them.
it's kind of like the people that put the plastic over their sofa because they don't want their sofa to get dirty.
That's like almost every Vietnamese relative that I have.
plastic over their sofa.
And the remote control.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Control.
Yeah. I don't know.
So literally for like 6 months, I didn't wear them. And then I was like, well, I love them so much. I want to wear them out, but I don't know when it's appropriate to wear them. And that was like another thing. So then when I brought them to the photo shoot, I've worn them twice in my life and I've had them now for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So when I brought them to the photo shoot, because again, I just threw everything in my suitcase, and you said, oh my God, they're beautiful. You should put those on. And I was like, I kind of feel uncomfortable. And you said to me, why do you feel uncomfortable wearing them? They're lovely. And I said, because I don't want it to feel like I'm bragging. Like it's not. And you're like, but Lisa, you've worked really hard for them. Like, why wouldn't you wear them? And I just felt uncomfortable. And that was when we're like, wow, we actually have to talk about this. Because there's so much judgment on things like that I got trapped in that judgment and I really did let it affect whether I should wear something or not wear something. And what do you think about that? Like, how do we overcome it?
Okay, so I myself at one point really wanted Louboutin shoes as well. And I was like, I'm going to work really hard and then I'm going to buy them and, you know, prove to myself that I can not just afford them, but like buy it and not feel bad about buying it. To this day, I actually still don't have Louboutin shoes because I think I kind of fell out of love with them. But I think there is something when you see, I think before Louboutins became so, I don't even want to say mainstream because not everyone has them, but they used to be more rare than they are now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so before when you would see a woman wearing them, it kind of conveyed she's got power, she's got money, she's stylish and that sort of thing. But then it's weird. Now when I see women wear Louboutins, because I see them so much more, or maybe it's just because I'm in LA, I kind of feel like they're buying it because they want to be like the original woman who was able to afford it and wear it, who really was maybe like a CEO or something like that. But sometimes I feel like people are wearing them because they want to show off how they should be perceived, which is really what fashion is. So I don't know.
But you think that's bad though?
No, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just that Louboutin has branded themselves so well that that character of the woman who should wear them comes along with anyone who wears the shoe. I guess for
Which
me,
actually is very powerful.
oh, it's.
Right?
I mean, it's amazing in their
Yeah.
on their marketing end.
Yeah.
Genius. It's just that when I see it now and I see certain types of women wear them, I'm like, I don't think you're really that type of woman. I don't know. I think I'm just being judgmental.
But here's the thing. You don't mean it from a cruel place. But it is being judgmental, and that's my issue. I don't think people are necessarily always trying to be cruel about it, but there's always, and maybe I'm just fighting a losing battle where it's like, look, no matter what happens, people are going to be judgmental either way. It's just like, it was a little sad to me where it's like, I have these shoes that I absolutely love, and I feel bad. Like, I don't feel good wearing them because it feels...
But wait, but you don't feel good wearing them because you worry what other people are going to think about you? What do you think they're going to think about you?
Oh, she's showing off. She's got money.
Okay. But you deserve them and you own them and you should wear them with pride. And who cares what they think?
I know, and that's one thing I battle with. And look, me, like, I barely go shopping. Like, these shoes I've had, I think, for like 6 years now, and I love them and I wear them all the time. And when there's a stain, I try and scrub it off because I love them so much.
Oh, they're cute.
But like, it doesn't define me, and I think that may be a little tricky where people are like buying expensive things because they feel it defines them, and that if they're not wearing it now, it makes them a less person. I think that's troublesome. I feel bad for them. Like, I wish that wasn't so, and I know people do that.
So you're saying like people who are kind of like posers, like they buy certain brands to make them appear a certain way, even though they can't afford it.
I mean, look, if you don't pay for your cable because you're like, you know what, it's more meaningful to me to save up and buy Louboutin shoes than it is to watch cable, awesome, great, do it. Like, if that's what makes you feel good, then fantastic. But I think it's, if you only feel good if you're wearing expensive things, then I think that could be troublesome, because what if that went away? What if you can't afford
What's
expensive
your self-worth
clothes? What is your self-worth now? So I think there is a difference that, like, I feel so good about myself that whether I'm in, 6-year-old sneakers or if I'm in my lovely shoes, like, I'm still going to be me. I still feel confident.
Well, I think that for me, it's always been about, if I can afford it and like honestly afford it, not that I'm going to try to take out loans and try to afford this thing, then I'll buy it if it makes me happy. But I never want to buy something just so that I can prove to someone else that I'm like a certain type of person. I didn't get the Louboutins, but I had a phase where I was like, I really want a nice bag.
All right.
And I've always liked like Valentino bags, Miu Miu bags. And I always just kind of looked at them. But I was like, oh my gosh, like, do women actually spend like $1,400 to $5,000 on a bag? Like, at this time, I was just wearing some regular bag from Target. And it was totally fine. It did the job. It's just a bag. And then I just kept looking at them, and sometimes I would show up to red carpet events with like a simple Target bag, and people were like, what designer is that? And I'm like, I don't know, like Target. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to up my game in this category. And so I actually went shopping.
Why did you feel like you had to up your game in that category?
Because I saw my other friends wearing like designer bags, and I felt like I wanted to be a part of that club too. I wanted to see what it felt like. And at this point, I could actually afford something like that. So maybe it was time to be a big girl and not have a Target bag and see how it felt. And so I remember going shopping for a Valentino bag. I think it was like on Valentine's Day or something. Sam and I went to the store in West Hollywood, and I was like going back and forth. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I want it or not. Like, it's so expensive. Like, I don't know. And then he ended up just buying it for me. And you said Tom bought you your Louboutins, right? So I wasn't even willing to do the deep dive for myself.
Yeah.
But I have the bag, and it's cool, but it doesn't actually bring me any more happiness than my Target bag.
Right. Thinking about like fashion, like I got all pass-me-downs for my sister. So I've got an older sister, and so it was, like, you didn't just go out. And I think that's actually interesting, and probably why I really wanted the Louboutins, because I got a lot of pass-me-down clothes.
Yeah.
My sister had great fashion sense, and so she would kind of just pass, even as teenagers, she would kind of give me the clothes and be like, try this on.
Yeah.
But then as like we started like getting into business and we had to save every penny,
Yeah.
and, I was collecting coupons, and we literally we had like $10 each a week to spend on like frivolous stuff, and every other penny was allocated. I think there is something to looking at where you want to go and where you want to be, at least for me. And I strive for that. And I use that as a driving force to work harder and do better at work or whatever I do. If that makes sense.
That does make sense. You just reminded me of a story that I think I should tell.
Yeah.
I think this was about 8 years ago, when it was like the second year of Sam and I after we started dating, and we went to Fashion Island to go shopping. And there was like a lot of high-end stores there. And this was one of the first times I looked into high-end designers and what that was about. And one of the first times that I fell in love with Valentino. And so I remember going into the store, looking at the price tag, and then coming out feeling absolutely defeated.
Why?
Because I had just graduated from college and I wasn't going to become a doctor, and I was still trying to figure out what I was going to do with myself. I was teaching a 24-hour fitness a couple times a week, and I didn't really know what I was going to do. I didn't get the job offer until like 8 months after I graduated from college. And so I kept thinking, like, I can't afford this bag right now. How am I ever going to afford this bag? And it wasn't even about that I loved the bag so much that I wanted it. It was about how can I make myself successful enough so that I can earn that bag. And so for me, high-end fashion, that's what it is to me. Can I earn it? Kind of like if you're in a video game and you wonder, how do I get to the next level? For me, it's like proving that I can buy that bag. Not for the bag, but because it's so expensive that people have created like barriers to get there.
Right.
And so I remember going back into the car and I was really silent. And
You
Sam
bought the
was,
bag or you didn't buy the bag?
No, I walked out defeated. I didn't buy the bag. And Sam looked over and he was like, "What's wrong?" And then I just started crying. And I was like, he's like, "Did I say something?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't know if I can ever afford that bag." And I was just so sad. And then just like, what was it? A couple years ago, that's when we got the Valentino bag. And so it finally happened. And so, yeah, it just reminded me of that.
It's like a representation of
Yeah.
the success that you have accomplished.
It's just, all that bag was a sign of the success that I wanted. It wasn't about the bag.
Right.
It was about earning the bag.
Right. And I think that that's kind of how I was feeling with the Louboutins,
Yeah,
right? It's like
yeah.
I looked at these people that were wearing it and these super influential, powerful women. You see them on magazines, you see them in newspapers. You're like, I want to be like that. I want to be that. And it kind of is a symbol more than it is like I've gotten there. And I don't think I would have felt like that if someone had just handed me the cash. I feel like clothes are so empowering. Like
Yeah.
even take this top I'm wearing right now. It's #TTFUBC. My husband said it once. I won't say the actual
Okay.
words, but it's toughen the F up, buttercup.
Cute.
And he actually said that to me once, toughen the F up, buttercup, because I was complaining about something with work and I was like, I'm so tired, I don't have the energy, oh my God, I can't do everything. And he just looked at me and said it to me. And I love that type of talk. Like it's lighting a fire under me and saying like, get it together. Like if you really want it, then just toughen up.
Yeah.
And so I find things like this just super empowering. And I love wearing clothes that can help me feel empowered. So I get torn because I really feel like that. And if I want to feel empowered, I'll go to get my boots, but I won't put them on.
Okay, but if you're, at the end of the day, afraid what other people will think of you when you wear the boots, do you care what other people think about you as, like, Lisa, just, like, your personality?
Not in the slightest.
Then why do you care what they care of your fashion?
Here's the truth. I think I don't want other people to feel bad that they don't have it.
Oh. But see, I don't think we can worry about that because someone's always going to feel bad that they don't have it.
All right, so let's talk about that.
Or you could be empowering someone. So remember little Cassie,
Yeah.
like 8 years ago, crying coming out of a store because I couldn't afford the bag? And look, I worked hard so that I could get the bag. So
Right.
maybe you're empowering someone instead of making them feel bad.
Yeah,
maybe just feel bad initially. Here's the thing. A lot of people want things that they can't have at that moment, but that doesn't mean you can never have it. You just have to work for it. And, I've never asked for, like, free hand-me-outs or anything. If I want something, I will find a way to get it. So if that means I need to work an extra side job at a fast food just so I can afford whatever, then just do it. Don't complain about it. Just earn them. And they won't feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah,
Does that make you
maybe.
feel better? Not really?
Hopefully, I'll think about it.
Okay, Lisa, I have not convinced her.
Slowly, you know me. I need like subtle, like small little pushes.
Okay, I just realized I never explained your style. You talked about my style like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay, when I see you, I see someone who's young and sporty and edgy.
Okay.
That's what I see in your style because
yeah.
you love wearing your heeled wedges.
I do.
You like wearing short shorts. You like wearing your sports bras with a little off the shoulder, or you're just very just sporty and edgy. That's what I see. And of course, you like black, so that's why I bring in that edgy factor. And you always like doing your eyes a little bit darker, so I think it's dramatic.
Yeah.
So that's how I view
very
your
accurate.
style. You definitely have a style. That's
Do
your
you
style.
think it's interesting, like if people wrote down what they think this, like almost like a test like this, get with your girlfriends and sit down and write your style, because it's actually really enlightening to see how other people see you. You know, we kind of spoke about thin slicing in one other episode on how like I think clothes are so impactful in thin slicing people, right? It's like when you're seeing someone or meeting someone for the first time, whether it's in a business setting, a first date, a party or anything like that, I think it's actually really important to think about what you're wearing and what you want to exude.
Yep.
Because when you thin slice someone, you get like 10 seconds to kind of look at somebody, and I think clothes can be so powerful with that. Like you may feel terrible that day, you may feel down, but you put on something that makes you feel good. I think it actually can change the way you exude yourself. So,
when I was a kid, I chose clothes that I thought obviously looked good, but also I lived for the compliment. I lived for some other student to say, wow, I really like your dress. Where did you get it? And so people, if I could do that on the daily, I felt like I was doing something good for myself.
So were you looking for external validation?
I think I really liked the external validation on fashion. And so that I've always been interested in it. I love fashion. And so if somebody else likes it and maybe it inspires them to dress similarly or something, then that's kind of cool. But yeah, it just reminded me of that. But of course, I always dress for myself first.
Right.
But if I got that compliment, it felt like A+. You did a good job.
You're always looking for that A+, weren't you?
Yeah.
So actually, like the one thing also that we had spoken about on that day, and like this one day photo shoot was actually really enlightening in fashion in general for me, like because so many little things happened. There was one thing that I pulled out on your rack and I was like, oh my God, I bet you would look so cute in this. And you're like, oh, I wore that in another photo shoot. I can't wear that again. And I even asked you, I was like, would you do that in your personal life? You're like, of course not. Like I would wear I've got like my favorite shorts and I've got my favorite top and I wear it all the time. Why wouldn't you re-wear it in a photo shoot?
Okay. Instagram.
Okay.
I cannot wear the same outfit twice on Instagram.
Why?
Because I feel like every photo has its own life. And as crazy as you may think this is, if I wear the same outfit for the second time, even a year later, people will be like, didn't you wear that outfit already? This happened. This happened actually a few months ago. I was wearing one of my favorite little rompers. It's green and it has like these banana leaves on them. It's just so cute when it gets hot. And I wore it for like St. Patrick's Day. And people were like, didn't you wear this already? And so that kind of makes me go, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't wear that again. Because it kind of, I don't know. I guess people they need to be excited. They need to see new fashion on Instagram.
But like the Louboutins, why do you care?
I'm not educating them or bringing new value to them if I'm wearing the same thing. I mean, when you really break it down to that.
Yeah.
And so unless I styled it differently, maybe I put on a jean jacket or something, but I was literally you can't do anything with a romper. It's like a one piece. So I either wear a jacket or a scarf or that's it. And so it was hot that day. So I just wore the romper again. Right. And so I guess if you compare the two pictures, it almost looks like it was the same photo shoot that we did.
Or I guess another equivalent would be like if you were just starting to date a guy and on the second date, you wouldn't necessarily wear the same thing you did on the first date.
No, you wouldn't.
No, you
but you could wear it later on.
Yeah.
And I'll wear the same outfits to work, but I definitely have like a rotation, and like I'll try not to repeat. Of course, there's like certain jean shorts that I really love, or certain tops that I really love, but I also find it easier to repeat bottoms more than repeating tops. Do you find that too?
that you repeat. Yeah, 100. No one
Yeah.
really notices the
No one
bottoms that
notices
much.
bottoms.
Unless they're specifically
Yeah.
distinctive
Yeah.
in a certain way.
Yeah, so I find myself always trying to change up my tops, but most of the time I'm like in
That's
dresses
actually
or
a really good
rompers.
fashion tip to people out there.
Yeah.
Like, focus on changing your tops more, off rotating your tops.
Yeah, and there's so many different ways to like layer and style things. I know you're a big fan of layering, like showing off your sports bra a little bit and things like that. Just so many different kinds of combinations.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, wear what makes you feel good and wear what you think looks good. So, Lisa, if you don't like those high-waisted things and if they don't look good, you don't wear them. But if you want to just wear them, like, it's not a big deal. It's just fashion. Not going to kill anybody with
man,
it.
that's the classic right there. I love it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening this episode on fashion. And until next time, be Sheroic.